Hey everyone, it's Captain Cross-Stitch here with my first ever special episode as promised, although it's a day late. But as promised, I'm going to be showing you today a parade of patterns by the designer Bella Filipina. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with the brand in the style of mirabilia as far as subject matter goes. There's gods and goddesses and historical figures and what else do we have? Of course, mermaids, and I'm trying to think what other. Well, you'll see. You'll see. There's all kinds of characters. Some of which are based on fairy tales as well. But anyway, so reason I wanted to do this is I feel like I kind of owe you guys an episode because back in November of last year, I skipped a month, mainly because I was depressed. Sorry about that. I was just feeling down in the dumps and didn't feel like going through the motions. So anyway, so a little bit about, and the reason I chose now is, even though I'm a day late, yesterday was Independence Day for the Philippines, which is where they get their name. The designer, I'm going to forget the guy's name. It's J something, I can't pronounce it. Aldrin J. Perea, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's from the Philippines. So anyway, they celebrate their Independence Day. They actually celebrate two. So they celebrate June 12th was their independence from Spain, which happened, let's see, I'm looking at my data here. Yeah, so in 1898, they declared sovereignty from Spain after being controlled by them for more than 300 years. That's a long time. So they celebrate that on June 12th. But they also do celebrate our Independence Day, July 4th as well. And the reason for that is at the end of the Spanish-American War, since they were a colony, if you will, of Spain, and after the Spanish-American War, we took control of the Philippines from Spain. So it wasn't until, let's see, yeah, so then in 1962, which is fairly recent, only 64 years ago, I think, we granted sovereignty back to the Philippines. So they celebrate the independence from Spain first, and then they celebrate their independence from the U.S. I didn't know that. I didn't know they were. I wouldn't say a colony of the U.S. or a territory, but they were under our purview. Let's just put it that way, for a number of years. But anyway, so I just thought I'd share that little bit of history if you didn't know. But that's not why you're here. So I'm going to show you there are a little more than 50 patterns that I own. I don't know the exact total number of the ones I'm going to show you of that numbered series. I know of 65, but I have somewhere in the 50s, I think, of them total. So hang on to your britches, Buttercup. And of course, unofficially, this episode is brought to you by Diet American Dew. Yeah, they're celebrating America's semi-quincentennial, which is coming up in a couple weeks, 3 weeks. So, yeah, I always thought that was weird. So I was around. I was in, I think, 5th grade when we had the bicentennial. Bi meaning 2. That's easy enough to remember. But why semi-quincentennial? So I actually had to look it up. So semi means a partial or even division of. So a quincentennial would be 500 years. So if the United States can survive another 250 years, they'll celebrate the quincentennial then. So that would be in 2476. That's bizarre to think of. So the semi-quin is then the half-quin, essentially. So 250 is, of course, half of 500. So try and remember that if somebody tries to spring some trivia on you about what is the semi-quincentennial, you will have heard it here first. All right, so I want to try and keep this video fairly short if possible, so I'm going to just get right to it. If you have any questions after about what I'm going to show you, just submit a comment in the box below, and I'll try and get back to you in some kind of reasonable fashion. All right. I'm going to be doing these in numerical order because that's how I have them sorted and stored. Okay. So they number their patterns on the front, down in the lower right corner. I think there's only one that doesn't have that for some reason. But so this is BF Bella Filipina 001. As far as I know, all the ones I have are original first printings. I'm not sure if they have ever needed to reprint any of them for any reason, but so I'm assuming I have first editions of all of these. So this number one is called Rosa Mystica. Okay, so this represents a Philippine tradition, a Santa Cruzan woman. It commemorates the journey of Reina Elena, the Queen Mother of Constantine. So, there you go. 002, Reina de las Flores. She's the Queen of the Flowers. That's a lot of pink. Number 3 is Reina Paz. It's inspired by Baroque churches in the Philippines. Yeah, interesting. I noticed he likes to do like arches over some of these women that he comes up with. Number 4, the Queen Flower Fairy. That's pretty. All right, number 5. This is the one that's not numbered. It's called Azotea or Azoti. It's a portrait of Maria Clara inspired from the well-known novel of Dr. Jose Rizal. I like the pattern, but I would not have put it on that color fabric. Just saying. Okay, number 6, Reina Mariposa. She's lounging. That's a lot of purple. Number 7, Aquamarina. First mermaid that he did. That's a really nice choice of colors on that. Number 8 is Queen Sorry. Inspired by the legendary bird of the Maranos, which is a symbol of good fortune from the southern Philippines. This one is it's aptly named. It's number 9, called Fairy Iridescence. It is definitely that. The colors in there are just, and the fabric that it's on is a perfect match to that. I don't know if he has exclusive use of what fabrics and flosses that are called for on most of these. I haven't really opened them up. There's only one that I've actually started, and when I get to that, I'll break that one open just to see, typically what he uses. Number 10, another mermaid, Pearl of the Orient Seas. Another portrait of Maria Clara. This is number 11, and that's what it's called, Portrait of Maria Clara. Simple but elegant. Number 12, another mermaid. This one is really good. I like this one a lot. The Heiress of Atlantis. And we got another fairy here. This one is called Anemone. It's, number 13. I mean, that ribbon, doesn't that look metallic? It's this way it shimmers. It looks metallic. There's not too many people that know how to manipulate color in such a way to make it appear as though there's light reflecting off of it. Mirabilia is good at doing that, but those are the only two that I've seen that I can recall. All right, number 14. It's another mermaid, but it's called Luna Mystica. Now this one, I don't know. I think I might have to juice up the color, what do you call it, brightness. You know, remember you used to have it on the old TV sets, you had a brightness knob? I definitely would have to turn that up because this seems very subdued. It's very pastel. So, all right. Number 15, the Star of Christmas. Again, with the metallic ribbons cascading down the center there. All right, another mermaid, the Enchantress of the Abyss. That's some really rich greens in that, and that fabric is perfect. Number 17, Gaia, the Earth Goddess. I like this one a lot. And see, I think I would have chosen more of a, I don't know if that's, I think it's tan, some kind of beige or something. I would have chosen a green of some kind, I think. Something mottled, definitely. But, man, some beautiful work there. All right, number 18, another mermaid. This is Amphitrite, Queen Goddess of the Sea. This is, I think, the first real use of filling the surrounding area with, environmental stuff. So we got some fish, and of course a big dolphin right there in front. Sea turtle. That would be fun to do. Okay, number 19. This is a Pixie, the Autumn Equinox Pixie. Cute. All right, number 20 is another deity. This is Mayari, deity of the moon. There's a couple of companion pieces to this that, when I get to it, I'll mention it, that I think would make a very interesting piece. to put all three together on one piece of fabric. Because the way the figures are oriented, there's one that's like head on, and then there's one this way, and then there's one this way. So I think if you put them all together, it would be a really nice piece. All right, here's another mermaid. This is number 21. Akoya, the Pearl Mermaid. Another kind of fluorescent pale, not as bad as that other one, but again, I think the choice of fabric kind of helps wash out the color a bit. I wouldn't have chosen purple for that. All right, so that was number 21. I'm going to break there for a second because number 22 is the one that I've actually stitched on. Number 22 is Bellatrix. I'm not going to show you what I stitched because it's just one patch of color. It doesn't really define anything. But I wanted to open this up. It's got, a gold foil seal. And, similar to Mirabilia, it opens up into a containment. So, all right, so this, oh yeah, I remember that. So this uses mostly DMC, which is good. No, no General Arts, no water lilies, none of that kind of stuff. But there is Kreinik, and I do have all the Kreinik for it because it calls for about 6. I lied. It does have 1 water lilies, but it has 5 different Kreiniks, and it has some Mill Hill beads. So, and I have it, I'm stitching it on the called for fabric, which is Cobblestone by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. And that's, so I don't know if that's typical for his designs. I haven't, looked at enough of them to know, typically what he uses. But there you go. And of course, with a lot of his designs being mermaids, I have it in a really bizarre mermaid bag, and I'll show you why it's bizarre. Yes, it's cat mermaids. This is a bag from Melissa at Shiva Designs. I'm not sure where she got this crazy fabric from, but it was just weird enough that I had to buy it. I think it was last year's Grace Notes retreat. I bought that among many, many others. So, since I mentioned that, coming up in August 6th through 9th is Grace Notes Fabrics Retreat in Allentown, PA. So she may be filled up, I'm not sure, but if you're interested, I would check them out. Look for them on Facebook. You might, if you wanted to see if they have any seats available. I plan on being there, even though I have no money. I mean, my seat at the retreat was paid for long ago. It's just hotel money and spending money is going to be potentially problematic. But I'm working a lead for a position at a company, so cross your fingers. I know somebody, and they said that they would see what they could do. So if anybody can, they can. So hopefully, maybe by the next time I post my next regular monthly video in a couple weeks, maybe I'll have some news about that. I don't know. But I only just made the connection this past Tuesday, so 5 days ago. It's a friend of mine. I see him pretty much once every Tuesday for trivia, and I sent him my resume, and I'm just trying to get my foot in the door somewhere, doing whatever they can allow me to do, just to get a paycheck at this point. I'm not too proud. I mean, since I'm physically not able to really be on my feet or do anything too physical, it would have to be a desk job, and it would definitely be in person. So they don't do remote stuff. But anyway, cross your fingers. All right, let's get back to the parade, shall we? We're coming up on 30 minutes, and we're only two-fifths of the way there. Okay, so that was number 22, Bellatrix. Number 23 is, I think, only one of two designs that he's done that has a male figure in it. This one is a male mermaid, so a merman. Is that how they would be referred to? It's called Triton. I guess much like the aquatic god of mythology. Pretty cool. All right, another deity, Amihan, deity of the wind. Yeah, number 24. Okay, this is the first dual person, entity, whatever. This is two mermaids for the price of one, called Daughters of the Estuary. This is really pretty. I like the kind of contrasting cool and warm colors, and they're facing each other. I think that's really well done. And the fabric is a good balance. It's nothing distracting, really. Number 26, Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile. So our first, not really our first, I guess, but another historic figure. Lots of browns and golds in that one. I think that would bore me to tears, but maybe not. Certainly one that I'd be interested in doing, because I do have a love of Egyptian mythology and culture, which that would qualify. Number 27, Another Mermaid. This one, I think, is the companion to that Mystica Luna, I think it was what it was called. The one with the mermaid and the moon that I said was very pastel and pale. I think this was probably the mirror piece to that. Sol Tropica. So you can tell the composition is similar. That's, even though it's kind of a circular shape, it's sort of crescent-like. She's sitting on it, so. All right, this one is really cool. I love this. I think I would have maybe chosen a different color fabric for the background, but this is design number 28, called Ascent of the Moth Queen. I love the moth wings under her arms. That's very cool and imaginative. All right, yet another mermaid. Number 29, Maiden of Tubata. I knew I was going to screw that up. I can't pronounce it. Tubataha. Sorry about the glare. All right, this is a nymph from apparently local legends from the forest of Mount Makiling. Yeah, Maria Makiling. Is there an elegant design? All right. So this is the second of the triple one that I said I wanted to put all on the same fabric. This is design number 31. This is Hanan, deity of the morning. So this one is facing the opposite direction. So we had the one, and I had the other one over here looking that way, and then there would be one in the middle looking kind of straight ahead or straight down. So, but look at that fabric. I mean, it looks 3D. It's so well designed. All right, number 32, Another Mermaid, Temptress of the Cursed Sea. So this is kind of like the first kind of dark kind of figure. So fabric choice is a little bold, but not terrible. It certainly gives it that kind of dark vibe, Welcome to the dark side. All right, number 33, Araya, Elemental Queen of the Air. Number 34, Another Mermaid. This is called Crystal Mermaid Aquabella. Number 35, another pixie. This is the hummingbird pixie. Cute color choices on that one. Number 36. It's their deity of fertility, Lakapati. Lakapati. Mermaid Treasures. This is Amethyst, number 37. I'm wondering if he plans on doing like a series of these, maybe. It seems odd that he would choose that particular one. Don't know. I'll just see about reaching out to him to see if he would do an interview with me or not. Or I'll have to maybe dig into it a little bit. Number 38, the goddess Aphrodite. You got her big swan there, which is one of her symbols. From the Black Magic Academy comes design number 39, Greta Goldbroom. Wow. That is a fun looking design. And number 40, another mermaid, Nereid Galatea. All right, we're getting there. We're about 2/3 done. Number 41, Akia, Queen of the Skies. I like that a lot. Very reminiscent of some American Indian designs for sure. It says number 42, Esmeralda. Another mermaid. Mermaids. Ask any mermaid you happen to see. Another mermaid. Number 43, Rasa. Okay, this is the center of that triple thing that I said. This is design 44, Tala, deity of the stars. So you can see what I was saying, how the other two would be on each side of her looking at her. So I think that would make a really gorgeous triple feature on one big piece of fabric. If somebody were to be so bold. Could be you, could be me. Don't know. Okay, this next one, I've seen several people said this is one of their favorites, so they were going to start it or have already started it. But apparently in Filipino mythology, in some of their tribal culture, this character is Magwian, who is kind of like the equivalent of the ferryman. She ferries souls in the afterlife. So I would much rather see her, not the guy that typically they show like in Greek or Roman mythology, where it's sometimes a skeleton in a robe. Okay, we got a number 46. It's another pixie. This is Holly Berry Pixie. Love that. A very holiday looking design. Number 47, Phoenix Queen. This is one of my favorites. So much warm color in that. Okay, number 48. This is the second design that has a male figure in it. And this is Pontus and Thalassa, the primordial gods of the sea. All right, number 49 is the poison apple. As you could imagine, this is based on Snow White. It even says Snow White there in the banner. Cute. I have no idea who this is. This is design number 50. Orduja. I'm not sure what their pronunciation is. I'm guessing it's similar to Hispanic pronunciation, where the J, I don't know how to pronounce it. I give up. But look at that tail. There's jewel tones in there. That's very cool. All right, we're getting down to the end here. My last handful. All right, number 51. Much like Snow White, in the same. This is Alice at the Mad Tea Party. Number 52, Olivia the Forest Witch. Love that owl that's down next to her feet. Again, I think this would look better on kind of a mossy green color instead of purple. Number 53, Julia, the Firefly Princess, so it's another fairy. Another one in the, I guess I should call them like the Disney princesses theme. I'm not sure. But this is Jasmine from the Magic Lamp. Number 55, Cordelia, another mermaid. It's cute. I love her hair. Cordelia. You remember that movie? What was it? Creep Show, I think it was. This based on the Stephen King thing, where that guy came back from the dead and he was saying, "Oh no, he was saying Bedelia." That's right. Where's my cake, Bedelia? Number 56, next in the princess series. Cinderella, the glass slipper. That's pretty cool. Really, all of those are really well done. Number 58, also from the Black Magic Academy, like Greta Goldbroom. This is Belinda Botanica. That'd be fun to do. Okay, so number 59 is probably the biggest one of these that maybe he's ever done. Outside of the series, I don't know if there's other works that he's done that I'm not familiar with. But this is called Seasons Mermaid Mandala. So you can see 4 different mermaids there, all in one design. So you can imagine this is a pretty big piece. I would have to imagine it's pretty big. So number 60, next in the Princess series. This is the Enchanted Rose. This is Belle. So is that Belle? Is that like Beauty and the Beast? I'm not familiar. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. So, okay. So next in this series is their 10th anniversary piece. Number 61 is called Lady Anthea. That is so amazingly gorgeous. But I guess it would have to be a 10th anniversary design. And it is thick and heavy. And I think the reason for that, if I recall correctly, he also includes extra charts that give you the ability to do variations of the design. I haven't opened it, so I can't say for sure what they are, but I think I remember that's what I read about it. Okay, and the last one that I own is yet another one in the Princess series. This is Ariel. This is called The Golden Voice. You see her little Nemo fish. So that's all of the patterns that I have. Now, let's see. According to my list, there are 4 that I don't have. Assuming they haven't released any ones after number 65. 57 is one called Mascara. I don't have. Number 62, The Legend of Freya. I'm thinking that might be a Norse goddess inspired one because of the name. Number 64 is one called La Katrina. And then 65 is one that I'm really interested in. It's called The Sea Witches, which I believe it was a stitch-along, maybe? I'm not sure. Because they did have one, and I think that's what it was called. But anyway. So that's it. I just wanted to share my collection. It's one of those things where like I liked them enough, and it was over the past several years, was able to easily find most of these, and they weren't terribly expensive. It's actually the more recent ones that have gotten really expensive. It went to being between like 15, around 15 bucks a piece for most of them. But then as you got in towards, I'd say, the last dozen or so, the price went up to 20. And then some of the specialty ones, like the 10th anniversary one, and then the Four Seasons Mermaid one, they were like 40 bucks a piece. So I'm glad they don't put out too many of them, like unlike Mirabilia / Nora Corbett, who puts out like stuff every month. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed seeing them, and maybe now that you've seen them, you might find a few that you find interesting enough to want to run out and purchase and get kitted up and get started on them. That's the idea anyway. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. This is still taking almost an hour. But I mean, that was like, 60 patterns. So quite a few to look at. But thank you for stopping by, and if you're new here, thanks for stopping by and hanging out, and hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you do, you like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're one of my regulars, you know who you are. Thanks again for being here, and until next time. For I guess that it'll be my June wrap up, which will be right around let's see, July 4th is a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so sometime in leading up to July 4th, I'll have my next regular episode. So until then, I bid you adieu. Captain Cross-Stitch signing off. Be safe, be good, and keep on stitching. Bye.